Well, it's getting near Christmas time, and you know what that means? Christmas horror. I suggest that you watch Krampus from 2015. It's a dark comedy Christmas horror film, and it has the perfect mix of horror and comedy, in my opinion. The movie stars Adam Scott and Toni Collette as Tom and Sarah. They have a teenage daughter named Beth and a young son named Max. Max is still very much in the Christmas spirit. Poor Max, he's also picked on because he believes in Santa. The other kids are mean.
Kids can be so cruel.
We can? Thanks, Mom!
And I do want to say really quick, Toni Collette, she's just awesome. She's great in horror and comedy, so you know you're coming into something good with this, but also the cast is great. Everyone is just so hilarious in this, and that's one of the things that when I first started watching this movie, I thought Krampus was a horror movie, like an actual horror movie. It's not. It's just a dark comedy, I would say. And it has great aspects of horror in it. Trust me, there are some really freaky scenes in there. A lot of practical effects, so I just love it. But I will say, when there was like a evil Gingy.
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man!
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man!
A little gingerbread man. I'm like, what am I watching? This is more of a comedy than I anticipated. I ended up loving it, so that's why I'm suggesting this to you right now, of course. Sarah's sister, Linda, is visiting with her husband and her kids and their little puppy, Rosie. Poor dog. I always feel so bad for bulldogs. Look at the poor baby. She can barely breathe. She has a couple little brats, well, a few little brats, but these two girls of hers, they really pick on Max. They end up reading a letter to Santa that he wrote in front of everyone, and he's just humiliated. And so he runs up to his room and he tears up his note. That is when a huge snowstorm comes in and barricades the family in their home, and their power goes out. So this is just a lovely situation. It seems like everyone else in their little neighborhood has left. Something has happened because they're like, well, there's really no activity around. And the daughter has a boyfriend, a few streets or a few houses down. So she's like, can I just go walk to him since we can't drive out into the street? Can I just walk to his house? And they're like, yeah, you can go, just be safe. No, my answer would be no. No. We will walk with you, because even if you trust her, it doesn't matter what she does. Other people are crazy. You got to keep an eye out. But also the fact it's a freaking snowstorm out there. Don't let your kid walk by herself. I'm from the South, so I admit, as soon as we see a snowflake here, we're like, oh my God, we're going to be stuck at home. Everybody shut down, school shut down, and it's really not that big of a deal, but still, it's still a snowstorm outside. Well, anyway, she is the first one of the family to meet Krampus that day. He really is imposing. He hops from rooftop to rooftop. He's a huge figure. He also has some minions, which are, the characters are actually really cool. Some are kind of cute in a way, but some are just horrifying. Now, if you're the type of person that don't know Krampus, let me teach you about him. Krampus, according to an old folk tale, is basically Santa's counterpart. Santa, he rewards the good kids, leaves them treats and candies. He's awesome to them. But what about the bad kids? You might think, well, he leaves them coal. Sure, but you know what? You know what, though? Krampus takes care of the bad kids. I love it. He'll whip them and put them in a basket on his back and carry them down into the underworld. Gotta love Germans, man. I mean, it's not just a German thing, but my German blood in me is making me just absolutely love Krampus. And if you see some of the parades or some of the costumes and stuff from other countries where they dress up as Krampus, it's awesome. I love it. It's so cool. So I will say this movie is a comedy horror, so be prepared for that. There's a lot of goofiness in it. A lot of great comedians in it, though, too. It's a perfect mix of comedy and horror in my mind. And as an animal lover, I will warn you, if you're worried about Rosie, some things are implied, so I will tell you that. The ending, to not give much away, is a little open-ended. So if you have seen the film, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. And let me know what Christmas horror movies you like. So yeah, a lot of fun, great practical effects, great characters. I really appreciate Krampus. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good day. Bye.
Oh, come on.